Do you ever feel like you need a reset? Me too, which is why I'm deciding to start a new sketchbook, even though I haven't finished my old one. But before I start, hello everyone, and welcome back to my atelier. I hope you've been doing well. It's certainly been quite a while. Today I'll be taking you through me starting another new sketchbook, and also talking a little bit about art and what I've been up to this year. I do know that it's been quite some time, and a lot has happened in the last year. And quite frankly, I feel like a very different person, but a lot of the things I love have not changed. So come take your sketchbook, take your supplies, and maybe a cup of tea or coffee. Sit down and let's draw together. The sketchbook that I'll be working with is a Leuchtturm. I feel like I've tried out a lot of sketchbooks over the past year, but I always keep coming back to this one. But I've certainly over time grown a lot less precious with the pages. So this buddy stores 250 pages, which is quite a lot. But as someone who draws a lot and practices a lot nowadays, this is kind of like the perfect fit for me. A good alternative if you prefer, first of all, something cheaper, and also something with a little bit of a thicker paper, is the Royal Talents art creation one. I cannot find it here in Singapore, but I used to use it for quite a while and I really like it. If you are a Moleskine user, I find that the Royal Talents art creation one is quite similar to the Moleskine art sketchbook at about a quarter of the price maybe. The paper is a little bit rougher, but I personally prefer that, so just a little bit of a tip right there. I'll be decorating my cover with a bunch of stickers that I have bought over the past year. I'm going with like a little bit of a sea theme, because why not? I have this really big, I do not know what kind of fish this is, but I got it from Okinawa, and this really nice crab sticker that I got. I don't remember the artist. I'll try to find them and like put it all on screen, but it's been quite a while since I bought it, so wish me luck. I've over the past year actually started art school, and I'm actually almost done, if that makes sense. I applied to a college so I'm 1 year out of high school now, which is crazy to say because it feels like so long ago, and I can't believe it's only just been a year. But I applied to a college out of high school, and I did not get into that one. I got into all the other colleges applied, but I didn't get into that one, and I was kind of sad because I really liked their program and their faculty. So I decided to take a gap year and do a 1 year diploma program here in Singapore, to develop my skill a little bit further, and it's certainly been quite a ride. And once I'm done, which is in about 2 months, I'm graduating on the 24th of July, I might make a video kind of talking more about my experiences at the school itself, or like at art school in general, because it's definitely been very different from what I imagined. So I'm sad to leave Singapore, but I'm also happy to go into a different environment, because I think at the point in life that I am now, it was definitely not the right choice for me. But at the same time, I made a lot of really awesome friends, and I made a lot of great experiences and memories, so we'll just like keep it at face value, I guess. I've gradually been thinking about coming back onto YouTube, and I actually never meant to be gone for this long, because I actually really love making videos and just sitting down and talking with you guys a little bit. I know my platform isn't huge, but I met a lot of people through YouTube that I still talk to today, and it feels really awesome kind of knowing that there's people that enjoy watching this content and also like enjoy creating similar content. I do want to pivot a little bit more into more high quality content, if that makes sense. I like these like sit down, draw and talk videos a lot, but I've been training to become a concept artist, and that's also what I'll be doing in university. And I really like the process of like from inspiration to idea, and I've been also urban sketching a lot. Singapore is so beautiful, and there's so many interesting things to draw. So while I have not finished like my main sketchbook, I have gone through quite a bit of watercolor sketchbooks actually. which has been great for like my mind and really bad for my wallet. But you know, you win some, you lose some. If anyone would like an updated what's in my watercolor kit and maybe like a how I urban sketch video, please do let me know. I'm planning to make it at some point, but if it's something you guys are interested in, I will probably like put it ahead of my other content that I have planned. I on and off have been like I've like been planning videos and like I've gotten halfway through recording them. I have about 4 hours worth of different footage just kind of sitting around, but my classes are really long and there's a lot of work, which is great. That's what I wanted, right? But I just never, usually I will like shoot a video on one day and then edit, thumbnail, and voiceover the next. But now it's been like broken up into multiple days, especially with like the way the light falls in here. Yes, it's just a little bit more complicated, and it took me a while, and by while I mean like 8 months, to learn how to properly like organize myself. Oh, by the way, for the sketchbook, for the beginning page, I wanted to draw my OCs Ivy and Asta because I've not been drawing my OCs a lot, which is crazy because I now like, I literally, my current diploma doesn't even have humanity classes, so I literally draw every single day, or Blender every single day. So it's kind of crazy because I feel like I used to draw, especially in like sketchbooks, a lot more than I've just been drawing like in, I don't know, like I feel like I'm just on my iPad or on my computer all day, which is true. I personally don't like it. It will be less bad next year, or I keep saying next year. I start university in September, so that is like in, well, it's almost June now, so June, July, August, September. Yeah, it's like 3 months. That's crazy. Oh man, I have to like move and everything still. But yeah, I will have more like pen to paper, because I think nothing really beats the feeling of pen to paper, in my opinion. It just gives you a certain like, I don't know, brain feedback that is just like unbeatable compared to iPad or tablet screen. So if you ever feel stuck, pen to paper is kind of like the strat to go. Yeah. I'm more consciously trying to like get off my phone and spend more time drawing what I want, because right now I'm really just drawing for school, which, to be fair, my OCs and stuff and my schoolwork kind of overlap to a certain degree, but like my visions for my OCs and like my characters is different for like what is, I guess, traditionally like good concept art, for example. A lot of like my OC stuff, it's like very typical high fantasy, right? There's like the occasional like more unique idea, but it is very generic like fantasy, which is what I like. But I'm here to like get better, right? So I do not want what I like to get in the way of like me becoming better. So sometimes I just have to like lay that aside, and then there's just like not really time to work on it. So getting back into like a more consistent sketchbooking hobby is definitely like the way to go for that, right? Like it's like a job and a hobby, right? Like you do your job and then you do your hobbies, and it's kind of really weird in art because ideally art will be my profession, right? Like full time, but it will not stop me from like drawing as a hobby. So I just like draw, full stop. I'm just a drawer. Awesome. But yeah, what else? School's been really interesting. So since I'm doing a diploma here in Singapore and not like a traditional college degree, my student body is on average quite a bit older. So I'm 19, turning 20 in September. Big age. It sounds more dramatic than it actually is. But most of my classmates are like in their mid-20s, and back home a lot of my friends like from my Illustrator groups are like in their early 30s to like 40s, and then like some people my age. And over there I've never really felt like the gap, I guess. because we would all just like meet every Saturday and go and draw together, so it was never like a big deal. So I was very unprepared for like the maturity gap between like me and my classmates. Like, it was really crazy because in high school I was always like one of the more organized, one of the more like responsible ones, and here I low-key feel like a little bit of like a gesture. I mean, it was very obvious that some people just like straight up like don't take me seriously, which is fine. I tend to over exaggerate like my expressions because otherwise I will just like I have like chronic like I just have like chronic resting bitch face, and it's made some people in my high school think that I'm really mean, and that I like don't like anyone, which was not true. I actually thought I was really chill with people, so I was like, I'm trying to like consciously not look evil. And then also it's just like, oh, like these people have low-key, like they have their things to get, like they have their shit together. I don't. And it was kind of weird because I think when you go to college straight out of high school, no one has their shit together because like everyone is like 17 to 19 years old, and going through the same stages of life. So having no one there to kind of like share the same stage with me was very not great, I guess. I definitely had a really hard time to like at the beginning of the year with just like adjusting. It's also my first time living alone, and of course living away from family, and like all of my high school friends, like none of my high school friends are here, so that's really sad. And like none of my friends back home are here either, right? So it's kind of really weird, and it did kind of force me to grow up very, very fast, because I was like not allowed to be like silly and whimsical, which like I feel like I'm a very silly and whimsical person. I love being silly, but sometimes people would just like, I think in general, if you're a more positive person, or if you're more optimistic, which is something that like I felt like I've been consciously trying to do the last like 2 years of high school. Like I didn't want to be in like the self-pity, deprecation, miserable spiral anymore. So like, I don't know, it was really weird kind of having to tone down the optimism and like, I don't know, be more locked in, I guess. So that's really sad. I think deep down, I still am that kind of person where like, I want to do things with friends, and like, I want to be silly, and I want to do a little gesture dance. And I hope like that side of me can like shine a little bit more next year. It was just like something I noticed, a little bit sad. So like, I guess if you're trying to go to art school, it's a good thing to be around people your age. It's a good thing to be around different age groups in general. But it is just like, you should try to be surrounded by people your age, because you will feel like you're super behind in life when in reality there's like a 6 year, I mean, my oldest classmate is 36 years old, right? So it's like, it's kind of weird because you feel like you're constantly behind and you're constantly like rushing into jobs and you're rushing into like everything, when in reality like you're actually probably right where you need to be and you're probably doing just fine. So that was really, really weird to like adjust to, but it also kind of taught me a little bit to not really care about other people's opinions that much. I think especially once you go past college age, you will have like kind of found your place in the view, and you will have your own viewpoints, and the way you kind of like see the world, right? And that just comes from different life experiences, but that might not be such a definite thing, or like a lot of people might not be open to like exploring that, especially if you grow up in like a very homogenous society, right? So it's kind of, I don't know, it was just kind of a really weird gap, and I think that really got to me, which is also like why I don't know, I felt like posting on YouTube was like very I don't know, I felt very stupid for it, and I felt stupid every time I tried to like make content, post on Instagram, post on YouTube, and it's just, I don't know, like I should have not let that get to me, but it really did, because I really wanted to be like, I don't know, I wanted to be like on the same level as like my classmates and like my friends outside of school, because like, hey, like I'm trying to be like, I have none of my friends my age here, right? So I'm like trying to be treated like an equal. When like it's fine, right? Like it's just a year, but it was a very lonely experience, definitely the first 6 months. And like I feel like now I've kind of really toned down a lot from like how I was in the beginning of the year, in terms of like energy, attitude, caring, right? And I quite frankly don't think that's a good thing. Like I miss being that person, right? I miss that kind of person that I was. But it's kind of also kind of just what I had to do. So yeah. I'm trying to get out of that now. So I'm back on YouTube. I have videos to post, which is awesome. Yeah. Let's get a little bit more into like what I am drawing. I have the sketchbook in front of me. I've been learning a lot at school, especially with in terms of light. I've never taken a physics class in my life, and that kind of is biting me in the butt right now, because it turns out art is a lot of physics, especially light. Yeah. But I wanted to push the light a little bit in that. I feel like I'm always playing it very safe, and I think even here, like, I played it quite safe. So I used like a lemon yellow for the light, and a Payne's gray for the shadow. I really like Payne's gray when it comes to watercolors. I think it's one of the most beautiful colors. I like the Winsor & Newton one the most. The Daniel Smith one is too gray, in my opinion. I've tried them both. I prefer my Payne's gray to be a little bit more blue than gray. Because if I want a gray, I would just use gray, and that's about it. Yeah. Also, Ivy and Asta, I have not drawn them in so long, and I really miss my girls, and I don't know, I just miss making fun things with my characters, and like having them do silly things. There's a lot of characters that I've like come up with over the course of the year. Also because character design, quite frankly, is just part of my curriculum. So yeah. My girl Eloise got a big she got a big like makeover, I guess, because I redesigned her for one of my classes, so that was really cool. And then I made like a whole portfolio. I mentioned like not getting into university last year. I got in this year, and it was like super awesome, because last year the portfolio took me around 7 months, and this year it took me a little bit less than 2 weeks. So if anything, I guess going to art school was kind of worth it. And yeah, I got in this time. Which, by the way, I was very surprised, because I still felt like I was not quite at the level that they wanted. But I applied to a different school. And it was like a safety school. Like, that was a school, like, I applied the year before, I got in, I got a good scholarship. Their program was just, I was applying for a sequential degree, which is basically like comic art, and then I was gonna like branch out, because there's a lot of stuff you can do with a sequential degree. I mean, we talk about art degrees as if the degree itself is gonna help you. I mean, more like, when I talk about the degree, I'm actually talking about like the contents of the degree itself. So when I say, oh, a sequential degree can get you this, I actually mean what you learn in a sequential degree can get you this. So like what I would have benefited from is the fact that it would have really boosted like storytelling and like narrative storytelling, probably also a little bit of writing, and definitely like illustration. But I'm actually not a big illustrator. I mean, I am, obviously, but I enjoy the design aspect of illustration a lot more than I enjoy like the rendering kind of like drawing part. Like, if I can just design something and then leave it like half rendered, that is perfectly fine with me. I'm like, for example, at school right now we have a splash art module, and some of my classmates are super into it, and then the other half of the class is like not into it at all. And I think that's like the difference between like the illustrators and the concept artists. It's really just like what you kind of want out of it. I really had to push myself through this module, because I'm just realizing like I'm not cut out for this. Like splash art, like 7 weeks on one illustration is like, that's too long, man. Like, can we just move on? And my concept class, which is taught by this super awesome guy who like knows a lot, I love that, and that's a lot of work too, but he mainly just wants you to do like the thinking part, and not, he does not care that much about like the rendering. He still wants to see it, right? But the functionality of a design is more important. So that's really cool. I've really, really been enjoying that class. I did almost drop out in my second term, which, like, Zoe, why would you drop out of a 12-month program? Oh, I was having a hard time, okay? Like, it was bad. Like, I'm like looking back, like, geez, like, this shit was like worse than 8th grade. And 8th grade was bad. I think 8th grade is universally bad for everyone, but yeah. So I decided to stay because this guy's module was super, super awesome, and we had him like twice a week. He does overdraw class a lot, which is fine. It's fine if I come home at like 9 p.m. I would like to eat dinner before 9 p.m., but like, it's whatever, man. Like, it's just a year. And I'm learning a lot, and it's really awesome. He's really awesome. My friends are really awesome too. Everything's awesome. Those are, if you hear those voice bits, those are not mine. Those are my friend Rachel's, and I have picked them up over the past year because we spent like 6 to 10 hours together every single day. So we have all just kind of amalgamated into one person. So yeah. Yeah. What else? Singapore is really interesting. Creatively, I think there's a big divide between like local artists and international artists, especially me. Like, I grew up on the Swiss countryside, which is not the most creative environment to be in. I think my mom is a very creative person, which is why I've always been very like artsy. But like, people are not super nerdy and stuff like that, right? Like, the most popular game there is like FIFA and then maybe Fortnite. And then here it's like completely different. Like, you go on like the MRT and like people are wearing like their nerd shirt, like their shirts with like their anime waifu, or like have a little like keychain of like whatever they like. Or I mean, there's a lot of girls with like Ida bags walking around. I have a Witch Hat Atelier Ida bag now. Because the Witch Hat, if you scroll down a bit on my channel, you might see the occasional 1 or 2 Witch Hat Atelier fan arts. That is because I love Witch Hat Atelier. It is my favorite manga since 2018, and it is a big reason why I'm still drawing today. So the anime release has been great. I've been loving it so far. I'm actually gonna watch the new episode after I'm done recording this because I'm super excited. And yeah, like the first Dojima, which is like a convention here, happened right a few weeks after the anime release. So there was so much Witch Hat Atelier merch, and I bought so much Witch Hat Atelier merch because I was so like, I was saving up for this because I knew that this convention was gonna have a lot more than it has been over like the last what, and I was right. There was a lot, and I'm really happy. I'm so excited. I made a bunch of Witch Hat Atelier merch too, by the way. I will probably do a whole like merch tutorial because I do most of my merch except for like acrylic keychains and enamel pins like in-house. Especially like stickers and stuff, right? And I think like one comprehensive artist alley guide would be pretty cool to have, and I know that a lot of people are interested in that. And I did promise some of my classmates that I would help them like get into boothing. So I might just make a YouTube guide and send that to him. Speaking of guides, I started a watercolor YouTube channel. I can link it. It is definitely like not great quality content because it's actually just for my mom to watch. Shout out to my mom. I love my mom. I'm really sad to like be away from her. But yes, like she has been picking up watercolors, so I've been like posting tutorials. I will link it if you want it, but I am not a qualified watercolor teacher. I'm an art student. So like, trigger warning, this will just be like 90% of my opinions on there, but if anyone wants to see and like kind of pick up the way I draw, I think here the clips, I edit them a little bit more together. Over there it's really just like one continuous yap. I actually recorded with the microphone next to me instead of like recording silent footage and then doing a voiceover after. So yeah, like that is there if anyone wants. upload schedule will not be super regular, obviously, because I will just film a tutorial whenever my mom wants like me to explain something to her. So yeah, that's about it. The Discord. The Discord is staying for now. I am a little bit hesitant about leaving it up. I don't like the idea of like a paywalled community on the basis of, oh, you have to pay to like talk to me, because I think that is very, I think if you're a large creator that makes sense. I have 800 subscribers and like almost 3,000 on Instagram. I'm like nowhere near large, so I am very reachable through Instagram DMs, so, or like Twitter DMs, or if you find me on Tumblr. Actually, I don't really use Tumblr that much anymore. TikTok, I don't know. Like, just, you can just message me and I will very gladly chat with you. Art Fight is coming up. Not sure if I will participate. The rules this year are a little bit weird, and it very much feels a little bit like DeviantArt drama from like all those years back ago, and it is, quite frankly, in German we say das ist mir zu dumm, as in like, I think it's like a nothing burger of an argument. So maybe I will, like, if that's gonna be the vibe this year, which is like DeviantArt discourse, which I've been on DeviantArt. Okay, I know DeviantArt discourse, right? And it is too dumb for me. I'm not participating in that. It's just like arguing with a wall, basically. So I will gauge it out. My profile is up. If you attacked me last year and haven't gotten a revenge from me last year, you will definitely get one now, and it is probably kind of better because I think I'm a lot better at art than I was last year, so don't worry about that. I would say don't attack me this year if you expect a revenge, because I quite frankly just don't know if I will participate, right? So I feel bad like putting it out there and being like, oh, I'm like gonna revenge everyone when I think yeah, I will post on my Instagram if I'm like super participating, and if you don't see me post anything, it's probably because I'm not participating in Art Fight. So just want to put that up there. I know we were talking about it, so yeah. If you are in the Discord, do share your Art Fight profiles if you want. I will gladly have a look, and I might send out some attacks. It kind of really just depends. Okay, like I have to move to, which is like try moving from Singapore to California. That is gonna be fucking crazy, man. I have so much stuff. I'm like I need to sort through all my things. I am a sketchbook hoarder, and I've gotten a lot of sketchbooks gifted too this year from like friends, so I don't want to like throw them out, but they take up a lot of space, so I just have to like sort out my other things to make space for more sketchbooks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Tell me what you've been up to. Next video will probably be a very casual draw with me. Maybe we can do another Witch Atelier video. If anyone's interested in the urban sketching thing. Okay, a little bit of a detail at the end of the video. I went to Okinawa by myself. Yeah, I solo traveled to Japan, which, if you know anything about Japan, you're like, Zoe, why would you do that? As you know, there was some regional conflict that prevented me from going home over spring break. So I was like, I'm not gonna sit in Singapore for a whole week, not doing anything, because if given a chance, I will like not go out at all. And I'm actually trying to go outside. So I went to Okinawa because I found a pretty cheap flight. And it is like off season, so nothing super duper expensive, and I had savings, and yeah, so yalla, I went to Okinawa and it was super awesome. I will tell you more in my Okinawa vlog if I upload it. It is just gonna be like a cut between like pictures and small videos and then like whatever I've been drawing. I filled about 4 sketchbooks there in a week, which is crazy. I just really love like going places. Singapore is awesome to explore, and maybe I will make a Singapore urban sketchers guide. I don't know, I've been really into urban sketching. I like going out and like drawing cool buildings, so maybe I will do that. I have like 2 events coming up, and I've been saving big time for a camera because, like, I'm gonna be honest, guys, my iPhone camera is not the best. It doesn't have a proper focus. So yeah, I'm between. If anyone knows anything about cameras, right? Do help. Like, please, if you know anything about cameras, DM me, be like, I watch your video, I know things about cameras, I need advice. Because I'm currently between a Sony ZV-1 Mark II, a Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, or a Sony Alpha 6700. I'm leaning towards the 6700 because I do want to take pictures, and I like taking pictures of, like, birds and shit. So it seems a more intuitive thing to me, but I do not know how. I do want to record, like, YouTube videos and stuff, and I'm not talking about, like, the top-down content. The top-down content will stay with my iPhone because that's what my tripod's for. But for example, I want to, like, take good pictures of buildings, and I could take cool video footage and more, like, cinematic video footage. Does anyone know, because I'm trying to find the video quality, like, between the ZVE 10 Mark II and the A6700, because, I don't know, like, they say that the 67 is better for pictures than it is for video, but, like, the camera is quite a bit more expensive. So is this, like, the video quality is going to be the same, but it's also, like, $1,000 more, or, like, is it just going to be, like, a really bad iPhone camera? I don't know. Like, if you know anything about cameras, do share. Please help me. Yeah. What else? Nothing really. Art school review video coming soon. Oh, does anyone interested in entertainment design or concept art? Does anyone want a portfolio comparison, like, talk through, and, like, what I think got me in? If you go on my Instagram, you can see them. It's the Impossible Library and Bug's Roadside Adventure. So, like, pink and then, like, brown. I will very gladly talk through it. I just don't know if that's anything people are interested in, because it is very, like, non-unique concepts. So, yes, do let me know. Yeah, that's about it. Do let me know how you've been. I miss talking to you guys. You know what? I am gonna promise now that I will make more videos. Please hold me to that. If I haven't posted in a while, you can just Instagram DM me. And if I disappear of YouTube, I will probably still be active on Instagram. So if you ever want to talk and chill and, like, just see what I'm up to, Instagram. Zoe likes frogs on Instagram. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you had a great time. Sorry for the long ramble. Do show me what you've been working on, and that's about it. Yeah. See you again soon. Bye!